right into the painting. What? What?
Zoom
Right.
on in, Chris. Don't be shy.
Look at that. No introductory needed. Lumberjack, ghost hunter, sarcastic grandpa. With all of the rough shenanigans of my attitude last week.
Uh-oh.
Just the incomprehensible, just bubbliness is what I would call it. Just unprofessionalness. We are back with painting today. And
Did you say that your comedic flavor was unprofessional?
Unprofessional. This stream is meant to change lives for painting. Let's paint. You heard the man. Welcome in. How was that?
Well, we're supposed to have fun too, Chris.
What?
Yeah, we're supposed to also have fun.
There's no time for that anymore.
I feel like we need to have time for that.
This is not an Anguinius, Ghost Hunter. This is a great question you just asked via your answer, which was incorrect. What are you doing, Jason?
I'm painting a Giga Spartan. That's not his real name.
A Giga Spartan?
It's not his real name, but it's a Spartan.
That's pretty cool.
Paladin.
A Spartan Paladin?
Yeah, from a game called The Loke.
Okay.
Or the Partha Wars.
Okay.
Which is a game coming out in the supposed near future from Catalyst Game Labs, the people that bring you BattleTech currently.
Really?
They are doing this
all right
alongside a old-time buddy of mine, Tommy Rice.
Nice.
Who worked at GW around the same time I did. And Tommy is he's a man of the world. He's an ex-football player.
Nice.
So
cool.
he's got all
That's
sorts of crazy storytelling he can do, but he played in the NFL. And he has written a game. He obviously, has been in wargaming for a long time. And as an enthusiast, has decided to do his own, and through his agent and other things that he has going on, been able to work out a deal with Catalyst to launch a game with them.
That's cool.
Now we have some models. So these are 3D printed tests for the game.
Okay.
We showed them off briefly, just in kind of random passing.
Yeah.
But I have told him that I would have a Spartan painted up. This is one of the lead characters, and in the game, a hero.
Nice.
And I'm going to have this painted up for him for Adepticon so they can put it in the Catalyst booth.
Nice. Vector, 11 months with that 12 month. Thank you so much for that sub. Always appreciate you.
So you get to come along with me on this journey, chat.
Chat, Jason was painting off a stream earlier today.
This is about an hour's worth of work where you see me right now.
This is
doing
good.
Super fast.
Now I'm gonna look over here towards the chat. Welcome in, everybody. I don't know what just happened there.
What's that?
I went to another dimension.
What's that?
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Happy St. Patty's Day, someone said. Jade said, hello, happy St. Gertrude's Day.
Goocher's Day.
Saint of cats and those who love them.
Goochers.
I said Goochers? Gertrudes. Gertrudes? All right, chat. That's it for me. It's been real. This is it. I'm down. I'm going down with the ship. This is it. We broke both wings off of saying Glanius. He is the real true story of why he's not on stream right now is that yeah. He's fully dead.
What?
Artistic
He's right
Outlaw. cool.
He's all back together.
It's magic. Look at that.
He's all back together.
It's all back together, just like the band. Artistic Outlaw, cool model. What is that? That is the Spartan that Jason is promoting.
It's a Spartan Paladin.
A Giga Spartan.
That we'll call them Giga Spartan. No, they're Spartan Paladins.
Now that sculpt is really cool.
So it's very Space Marine-like, right? They're obviously playing off of the heroic scale of 40K and giving you a alternative for Space Marines and these Spartans, these Paladins that are kind of a hybrid fantasy and sci-fi type world that he has that is really kind of cool and interesting, and that the Paladins themselves wield magics. And there's been a war on their planet, but there are aliens, big orc-style aliens that have come from off-world that are much more sci-fi.
Yep.
And they have come with their ships and their tech and to the planet, only to be met with these powerful paladins that they thought were beneath them because they didn't have spaceships and things like that.
Nice.
And the paladins have stood up to the orcs, and there's like a uneasy truce. But then on this planet, there is all sorts of infighting between other factions, because as the orcs get there, they realize there is this stone or natural resource on the planet that allows for magic to work.
Nice.
And so then it becomes a sci-fi fantasy romp for control of resources. And yeah. The Paladin Order, I guess their king gets assassinated. I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
As we learn more, Tommy said he might come on stream and talk to us about it if we build up some momentum for it.
I have a beautiful way of getting people into the stream now. We'll have to do that more often. Get people in here, you know?
Yeah.
We can. We have the technology.
We have the technology.
Big Bob, is it Adepticon yet? No, it's not. It's not.
Thank God.
I was going to let Jason say that. Thank God. We're getting there. Once we're there, it's going to be great. It always is. It's always cool to see all of the people.
We are not ready.
We are gearing up for it.
Is that a fly again?
There's another fly in here.
It's crazy. Crazy, I tell you.
Heck? They're breeding.
Crazy, I tell you.
Philip says he's ready. Skelly B, I'm not ready either.
Skelly B, what's going on, girl? Am I going to see ya? You guys going this year?
Oh, Papa Chicken, thank you for that resub. 7 months. You haven't even said I love you yet. I see what side your toast is painted on.
My toast is painted on the side that hugs me back.
Speaking of butter, this guy's looking really good, Jason.
What does that have to do with butter?
He's looking smooth.
Smooth like butter?
I think so.
Okay, I could go with that.
You get it?
I can feel that. I'm feeling it. That works.
Man, I don't know. Avian Chris, is there a TL:DNR on this model? I don't know what that stands for.
Too long, did not read.
Yeah. Rewind. And welcome back, everybody. It is Monday. The fly in here that's going to drive me up the wall. It's a beautiful Monday, I think. Seems to be going okay.
There's a lot going on. That's for dang sure.
A lot going on. It's a whirlwind. I can't believe it's 2:00 today.
That's what caught me by surprise. Is I'm in here just kind of minding my own business, trying to get this model with some paint down on it. I started at like noon or something like that. Broke for lunch. Came back in at like 12:45, and then before I knew it was time to stream.
That's right.
Doesn't seem fair to me, Christopher.
Fair to you? No.
No. So we're doing some Spartan gold armor, super duper wish.com style. but we can make it look good. So I wanted to do this. My first thought is I wouldn't paint this on stream, but Tommy gave me the okay to do so. And the second thing is to show you guys and gals how easy it is to achieve a very quick non-metallic metal, like you see us do a lot, but without as much of the time and I won't say hassle, but as much of the brain power that's required. This is just very, very simple, quick. I haven't done anything on the back, so you can see I primed him in black brown. I then went over it in dark yellow green, right? So dark yellow green with the airbrush, all with the airbrush. Mm-hmm. Then over the top of the dark yellow green, I used the new red orange from the upcoming Adepticon colors. So you can see some of that orange peeking out of the shadows and the midtones. And then I used the new yellow, orange yellow, out of the new Adepticon series that's coming out. It's not an Adepticon series. It's the new paints coming out at Adepticon. And then I mixed that orange yellow with pale yellow in the airbrush and did some initial highlighting, which is this coloring you can see on the top here. You want to do a super zoom?
Yeah.
So like that arm gives you a good understanding of how it all is. You can see the greens, you can see the browns, a little bit of the hint of orange in the mid-tone shadows, and then the yellows leading up to the bright pale stuff. And then I'm using just straight pale yellow as a way to get all of my highlights in on there.
Looks
so all
great.
of my line highlights and such.
That's looking great. Chat, you'll be so excited. I really planned out my next painting project this weekend.
Did you?
I did.
What are you doing?
Well, I was painting my gargants this weekend. I'm trying to get 4 of those done, but my Earthworm Jim diorama.
Oh, yeah.
I now know what Earthworm Jim is going to fight. He's going to fight Psychro, one of his main enemies, and it's going to be a Lord of Change, but it's going to be in Psychro colors.
Okay.
Because his main enemy is a crow.
Okay.
And that's my TED Talk. So get ready. I was very hyped. All of my lonesome, scheming, searching.
Toilet thoughts?
Yes. Earthworm Jim is the best. Yep, it's Papa Chicken. It is going to be in... actually, no, Papa Chicken. It's going to be in New Junk City. So it's going to be in a massive junkyard. Because that's where he'd most likely fight Psychro. I was doing a lot of digging this weekend.
You're crazy, Chris.
Oh, dude, it's going to be great. I'm going to paint him just... I've always wanted to paint a Lord of Change.
Uh-huh.
So, but I don't want that army. So I just want that model. And
That's
I want
a good excuse.
This is it. We've made the big leap. Buying models I'm not going to use in an army. Be proud of me, chat.
You pop in
Mm-hmm.
a little closer.
New Junk City, yes, Avian, that's what it's called. What's patience? Yeah, that's funny source. What's patience, and where can I buy it, and how much does it cost?
We can't help you on that.
No,
we don't know.
Game delay. I appreciate the statement that Mondays are for painting, but that really feels like saying I'm alive today. That's the title of the stream. I'm glad you read that, Game delay. Good for you. Josh has a question. Question on the new spray can black primer. I think I did everything right. Shaked it for a bit. Everything's room temp. I let it dry for a while, but when I got paint on it, the paint acts hydrophobic. Will not stick. Any clue what I'm doing wrong?
Which black primer are we talking about? Ours or Color Forge?
The one that's on the monument site. So ours.
Is the black dead flat? Meaning that it has absolutely no shine to it at all.
Yeah, I think that's yes.
And if the paint doesn't stick to it, I don't understand what could be happening because that paint has so much tooth, it's near impossible to not stick to it. Are you thinning the top layer of paint down really far? You shouldn't thin your base coats, I wouldn't suggest, but that there are ways to paint that you might.
Josh, you can always contact support.
But yeah, they're going to need to see photos of what
Yeah.
you got going on. I can't really help. I can just kind of give you generalities, but support can get you dialed in for sure.
Josh said, I posted a pic on the Discord Hobby Help. Yeah, also make sure you send it to support@monumenthobbies.com so that we really can dive into it and help you there too.
The Discord group's great, so. But yeah, if it has a dead matte finish, you shouldn't be experiencing any problem at all.
Yeah, that's odd. Avian, okay. You've been asked this probably 1,000 times. Here is 1,001. What are the new paints, and do we have them in an easy-to-snag box at Adepticon?
The answer is yes.
There it is.
What are they, color-wise?
What are they?
18 new colors, 2 sets of 9, and we've been showing them off. How come you haven't seen them? I don't understand, Avian. You've been here.
Avian,
You've seen
open
these
your
things.
eyes.
You've seen these damn things.
Avian, they're all around us. We like to. You'll have to go back in the VODs.
If chat's nice, I might show them off later.
Thank you for answering this common question, Avian. You're welcome. We answered it in a very direct way. Open your eyes.
If chat is nice, Christopher, I will show. I will show off all the new colors
today.
Yeah, before in the stream.
Skelly B, I know I'm going to be running to the booth and snagging them. Get them while they're hot. If chat is nice today, that's it. That's all they need to do is be nice.
Well, that's why I say that, because you know they can't do that.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Chad doesn't know how to be nice.
Reject him. We're always nice. False. Awkwardish, you're always kind. Yeah, I'll give you that one. This is true.
Tim, we're always nice.
Night Moon has a question. What brand of air compressor do you use, and do you know if they contain lead?
We use a California air compressor here at the shop. Do they contain lead? I have no idea. I would assume they'd have to state that on their.
I don't think so.
On their materials listing, but I don't know. Out of my purview. There are very few things made with 100% lead anymore. There might be, I don't know. Can you even get like lead fishing lure weights?
I don't even think you can. Are you eating the air compressor, says Papa Chicken? No, I don't think so. If I had to be a betting man, I don't think there's any lead in this.
There might be components of motors that have to, are typically using lead, as a integral component. I know some electronics still do. So there's there's probably a reason why there might be, but I don't know it off the top of my head what would have to be in there to.
Chuck the meat man. As someone who has to report on Prop 65 regularly, in quotes or in stars, everything contains lead.
That's like my funny little quip was going to be that because they're called California air compressors, chances are they either don't or they have it plastered all over the sticker that they do. Because welcome to California, where everything causes cancer, including your government.
Now watch Jason pull out. No, we don't have any speed paint or slap it all over the model.
Yeah, it's an interesting question though, because now it has me thinking like, what in the
Chuck says gears that aren't subject to extreme pressure are still made of leaded steel.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that because they don't have to take the shear. And there are components that have lead in them still. Lead is not like banned throughout the world. It's just not in things that are commonly, around humans in daily life, like paint.
Yeah.
Where your child is going to chew on lead paint chips from the windowsill or something. Try to actively avoid that stuff.
I did. It made me stronger, chap.
Yeah.
Look at me as the young man today. Yeah, don't use that example.
He didn't know how to act in public, though, so there is that.
No, I programmed that. I mean, beep boop.
Chris GPT.
That's right.
Getting some shine on his booties.
We've done a lot of gold here, chap. We've given you many options for gold. We've done a deep dive into gold with Mr. Antonio El Tigre. Jason, actually, that video, I think I just released it 20 minutes ago. Check out on our YouTube channel. Jason did a true metallic gold workup the other day.
Ooh, I really like that one.
I just posted that.
I like that one a lot.
I got that all posted up, so go check that out. And then this version is non-metallic gold, but you said it's wish.com.
In 2 hours or less.
But you say it's wish.com. I don't believe you. It looks good.
Well, it's just because it's going fast. And I'm not as particular about like where my light placement is. I'm just looking at each individual shape and kind of making it disco ball shape, like disco ball style shine. So I'm not as worried about the particulars when I do this, is why I call it wish.com.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it is any less presentable.
I like it.
Or fun.
Yeah, it's looking good.
It still gives you shine.
This one's very shiny. Are you going to do a red cloak?
Yes, I believe his cloak is red.
Spartan red?
Spartan red, and then like black on the top, I think is their deal. Mm-hmm. And then the fur is like white gray at the top of the cloak. So yeah, he sent me some reference photos of the artwork for these guys. Oh, so cool. I'm just kind of following the reference photo. Got some interesting, intricate footwear.
I really like the model though. Feels very bulky.
Yeah, it has a lot of presence to it. Like I said, it takes that kind of heroic scale that makes 40K feel so chunky.
Yeah.
For Space Marines and stuff.
I do like that.
And does a really good job of giving it its own kind of new direction with the Spartan feel. So I really like them.
Hopefully you're all getting hyped for Adepticon that's coming up. If you're going, we can't wait to see you. If you're not going,
I woke up
keep you posted.
In the middle of the night last night thinking it was this week, and I was losing my mind. Yeah, I thought it was like this week I got to leave, and I got too much going on, and not enough time, and oh my God.
Last week I thought that.
I just started freaking out.
Source, thank you, Sushi, for the true metallic video, and Jason, of course. Yes, you're welcome. I just posted.
Isn't it good? Did you go watch it?
Yep, that's what Source is just saying. Yep.
Source, it's really good.
It's really fun. It's a fun workup. It is a fun workup. Wad, 40 months. Well, this is awkward. I have no sound and can't stay, but I wanted to stop by to let you know I love your faces. Wad, we love you too, even though you can't hear us.
Right back at you, buddy.
I'm going to send you a
No
bunch
speakers.
of hearts. Here we go. Heart, heart, heart for Wad. Boo-de-le-le-le-loo. Ding, 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 ding. There you go. Happy birthday.
I just did it. I just mimed it to him.
Perfect. We did.
I just mimed it to him. Mimed, not mind.
No, you minded it to
No,
him.
I mimed it. Oh
No,
my god.
you
He just went like this.
No, you mind it to him.
I didn't
like,
minded it.
This. Oh no, you minded it like telepathically to him.
Chad, I quit.
Don't quit.
I quit.
You need to paint this model.
Oh yeah, that's right. I gotta get this done. Then I quit.
Nice. Nice to the model painting, not to you quitting. Let me make that clear.
Oh my god.
At Adepticon, I'm looking forward to the Dunk Chris tank. What? Blood Walrus.
Oh my
There's
god,
no
that
dunk
would be
tank.
fantastic.
Okay, you know what? Well, next year, we'll get a dunk tank. And it's going to cost you $50, and I get 50% of it. The rest of it will go to charity.
Why do you get 50%?
I don't know. Can you imagine there was a group, like just a long line, and you're just constantly getting dunked?
Chris
Not
is just
doing it. just
waterlogged
constant
by the end of the day. It's like, oh my god, make it stop.
I'll be a rich man.
Make it stop.
I would do it for you, chat. If that would bring you joy, you're welcome. How about that? Dunk in a paint tank? No. Solitaire, speaking of that, 3 stream streak. We love those stream streaks. Uh-oh.
Whoop.
They're coming for me, chat.
They found him.
This is it.
They found him.
Tell my mother I love her. And tell my brother I'm coming for him.
If dunk tanks were filled with beer, more people volunteer for them.
Well,
Or is there a lack of people volunteering for the dunk tank? I feel like it's not a bad gig.
might be an epidemic. Not enough people voting to hop into that dunk tank. I don't know.
Society is on the fall.
Rancid Vomit 10 stream streak. Hey, if you're out there, chat, post up your stream streak. I want to see it. You heard me. I want to see those stream streaks. I know some of you got some wild ones. Yes, it does sound sticky. Yes, it would be very sticky. After a while, like 500 dunks into a beer vat.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
After a while, you're just going to be...
You know, that might be the way to get people to stop drinking. It's like it's kind of like the Clockwork Orange way of stopping alcoholics.
Yeah.
Right? You just dunk them in a tank of
true.
alcohol for days and days and days until the smell and the feeling of the liquid all around you is just so like gross.
Yeah.
It's in your very being that you're like, let me out, I quit.
Ugh.
There you go. Call AA.
There it is. We found it out. We found it out just for you, chat.
Nobel Peace Prize incoming.
Still need to see Clockwork Orange. Is it worth the watch still?
Oh, 100%.
It is. I would say it is a pretty revolutionary style of movie that came out at its time. It was pretty bold.
It is a classic. It's a Kubrick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's a necessity if you're into movie watching and, you know, the whole finding of great movies.
Yeah.
It is one that I believe you need to watch.
It's pretty iconic. If you're watching, especially how it was filmed and how many long takes they did, It was pretty in depth. It is. I would say it's a hard watch for someone who's not, in that mind space. Avian. Yep. It's very, especially for its time, it was pretty out there.
Yeah, I feel like nowadays it's been culture washed
Yes.
down to where it seems almost, I don't want to say infantile because it deals with some heavy subject matter.
Mm-hmm.
But, in today's world where everything is over the top, hyper realistic gore fest,
Yes,
it's going to seem fairly mild in comparison because it does not go, for back in the day, it went to extents that people were not ready to do.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's fairly like it would be on normal television.
That's why it was so iconic too back in the days, that it was one of those films that really pushed the limits of cultural biases back then, and it really stood out. But yeah, we're so desensitized to that kind of stuff nowadays in our media that it doesn't even, won't hit it the same way. But the filmmaking is amazing.
Have you played Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah.
Because then you've basically already watched Clockwork Orange.
Phil, I always watch it and want a glass of milk.
Yes, Milk Bar.
Remind the people what you're painting up, Jason.
This is a Spartan.
Spartan.
Sparta. It is a
And where's it
miniature
from?
from an upcoming game that Catalyst Game Labs will be launching. I believe they're launching on Kickstarter. Called The Loke.
The
L-O-K. It is the tales of the Partha Wars. And it's kind of protagonist, good guy, ultramarine, space marine type guys are the Spartans. These Spartan paladin type units like this guy. That are the protectors of a kingdom and world that is under siege from forces beyond in space. It's a kind of a, knightly orders, fantastic magics kind of planet that then gets introduced to technology through these basically aliens that come to the planet. And then there's warring for various resources on the planet and things of that nature. So
I think it's Mo's asking, is it sci-fi or fantasy? I think it's
yes,
sci-fi. It's both. It's
It
like
is a hybrid, right? Because it has a magic system. It has science fiction, so it treads between both worlds.
Chuck, how is this plastic compared to BattleTech models? The mech material is problematic.
Well, this is a 3D print,
Oh,
so
it is. Okay.
this is not a fair. This is a test print, not from the game yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if the real minis that they have on launch will even be the same poses. They may change some stuff. I do not know what their material that they plan to make them out of is. If they'll go with a high impact polystyrene and do it more like Games Workshop plastics, or if they plan to do it in the kind of board game plastic PVC like BattleTech is.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think that the BattleTech is problematic for hobbyists, but great for the level of detail it gives to mechs, and it's just so much better than all the other stuff that was in the BattleTech realm before.
Yeah.
The plastics and then the metal from Ralpartha and then Ironwind metals.
Metal's a little tough.
Well, and the sculpts are always garbage, so being able to bring the new sculpts into the PVC is really cool to see. But yeah, I'm with you on that. It does make it rough because the material itself is pretty bad. You can't really tool it. You can't. It's very hard to alter anything on BattleTech minis.
Well, and the scale's kind of hard too, right? The scale's a little tough. That looks great. Yeah, the scale is a little tough on BattleTech to do any kind of kit bashing or manipulation of it. I don't know what you kit bash on there though.
Well, there's a lot of variety of the mechs that they don't make, right? They make an urban mech. Well, they made like the urban mech and all of its kind of stuff just because they were kind of funny about it. But
yep,
you know
I've got all those little Urbies.
But for the bulk of mechs, you're only going to get one, maybe two of the varieties that it actually exists in. And so if you want the weapon loadout to match visually what the mech you're running is, sometimes you would love to be able to alter the model. You know, like for the longest, there wasn't a catapult K2. And the K2 is one of the most iconic catapults out there. It has 2 PPCs instead of the shoulder mounted, instead of the missile bays.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so until they finally made one, but until they made one, it was really difficult to.
Oh, they did. That's cool. Is that in the Mercenaries one?
I believe so, yeah.
I didn't realize those Mercenaries have a piranha.
Yep.
I thought that was a cool little sculpt they added.
It's a mech I've grown to hate from MechWarrior Online.
The backstabbies?
Yeah, because it's like yeah, that's not how that would work at all, but welcome to video game land.
Yes, those things were very annoying.
Because they lag tank in that game.
What's that mean?
They're so fast, and if your ping is bad, then you can't be hit, almost.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. They were very annoying to deal with.
There was a time in MechWarrior Online where if you had bad internet, you either played a big missile boat.
Oh.
So all I had to do was get locks and press a button. Or you played a light like a Raven.
Yeah.
And you would lag tank because nobody could hit you. And you just run around and shoot people, stand behind people, shoot them in the back, and then start running at high speed away. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend and that the week is treating you well as you get back at it again on this lovely Monday. I walked into Jen's office earlier today and I was like, how's it going, babe? And she's like, it's a Monday.
Yeah.
She was definitely experiencing a Monday.
It's a Monday. Yes, yes. Getting excited for Adepticon.
100%.
It'd be so great to see all the people who are there. We will take a bunch of pictures and we're going to be posting some social media stuff so that if you're not there, you'll get all the announcements.
You know, I don't even think we've told everybody that we're flying Louise over.
We are flying Louise over. No.
So Rogue Hobbies will be at our booth. Louise is coming over.
Yep.
We brought Mashik over last year.
Yep.
And this year it's Louise.
Louise will be at our booth. So come and say hi.
So as if you needed any other reason.
Last year we had Mashik.
To come and hang out with us. Now it's even better. You get to come see.
We have quite a few people at the booth. We're going to have Louise there a lot of the time. We're going to have Ben's going to be there. John's going to be there.
Ben, John, Vince.
Vince, yeah. The whole crew.
She's the one that got your daughter to paint minis? Awesome.
That's so cool.
Louise is great. She is a heck of a personality. So genuine. We're excited to have her out here. She hates flying. And she has...
She'll be a great energy at the booth.
She's decided to take a lot of drugs. And get over her fear of flying. And we'll see her in the booth.
Source, just watch the TMM video. I don't see why you ever do anything else. I'm glad you like it.
Um,
I'm gonna be doing it.
yeah, you know, that's a question I get asked a lot: is why, when TMM can look that good, do you not just do that all the time? And the reason is that it still isn't controllable, right? No matter how good I make it look, it still isn't controllable, meaning that it's still going to suffer from the light in the room controlling the way a person sees it ultimately.
Yeah.
And that isn't horrible. It's just a factor you have to add in. And the way I paint, I want all of my highlights and shine areas and shadows and dark reflections and everything to always be exactly where I paint them. Otherwise, why am I taking the time to paint them as specifically as I am?
That's a good point.
Right? And so no matter how I rotate this model around, the highlights will always be where the highlights are, the shadows will always be where the shadows are. The light in the room plays a very minimal impact on telling my story for the model when I'm done. And to me, that's crucial. So not everybody cares.
Mm.
And that's why things like that metallic workup that we did are so important, because you can see very quickly how great you can make it look, and you don't have to worry about it.
This is true. I am going to be using a lot of that workup, I think, going forward for my gold.
It looked really good.
It will almost always look funky to me in anything, but the exact lighting is what it was meant to be in. Yeah, that's the difference between it. You know, it's you have to be able to put in that work too. But you know, you can also do it a lot quicker. Doesn't have to be super in detail.
Yeah, you can get really good look really quick, and you know, get through a whole army.
Mm-hmm.
And just like anything, what your goal is going to change model to model. So there might be times where, like me, you know, I paint 99.9% of what I do non-metallic, but then you'll see me with certain projects go with metallics.
Yeah.
Just because it is something I can get done very quickly. You know, like when I'm painting Titans, there's no way I'm going to do non-metallic on all of the undercarriage of
that's
Titans,
a good point.
whether they be for Adeptus Titanicus or whatever.
Yeah.
There's just no way. It's not going to happen that you see me wanting to paint all of the undercarriage unless it's for, you know, a display model, and do that when I know that I can use the metallics to get the point across.
Yeah.
And get done a lot quicker.
The Papa Chicken's asking, would the true metallic metal be controllable enough if you hit it with some of that sick Monument Hobbies Rattlecam matte varnish?
No. I mean,
wouldn't have that same punch.
Here's the problem. The answer could be yes, but the problem you're going to face is that when you're painting with metallics, the reflection off of the paint itself, because it's kind of glossy, right? Because it has the metal flake in it or the mica flake.
Yeah.
You have a harder time blending metallics, right? And so when you think you've done a good blend with your metallics, you have to be making sure you're rotating it through light the whole time. In that video, that quick short video, I think in one of the parts where I painted the highlight onto the axe head at the bottom, and because it looked great on camera, but to me here, I could tell there was a harder line. You see me take my finger and smudge blend it real quick. So you have to take a lot of time working with your metallics to make sure your blends are smooth, because if you put matte varnish over them, guess what you see immediately? You see your lack of blends, right? So the metallic, when it's left metallic, is a much better place for your blends to hide themselves, right? And so it just looks really good. If you take it and then matte varnish it, you'll see abrupt start of paint where you didn't blend it, because you can't see your blends with that reflection. That's why you don't use gloss varnish and stuff like that when you're blending. It just becomes impossible to tell where you're blending.
Mo, does the new venue have good interwebs? If so, she makes make Chris stream. No, I don't know if it has that good interwebs.
It does. It has stream quality internet, and they charge you for it.
Oh, yeah.
So we would have to,
I
like, if
feel
we
ya.
streamed from there, we would need to do something like charge for tickets. Because, I mean, when I say they charge for it, it's no joke what they charge for it.
Oh, really?
We're talking in the 5 digits.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, it was like 10 grand
What?
for the weekend to get the kind of quality,
Like stream
internet
quality?
that you could stream with. Yeah.
Holy moly.
So, yeah, there's no way. Since
Ugh.
we don't charge for the stream, that's just not something we can really afford to be doing.
Sure.
I mean, we could, but I then would attest that there's really no content I could deliver at
Well,
Adepticon that would really make
that's
it worth
tough.
it.
You know, that would be very, very difficult. And what would it be, right? The show is so busy.
It'd be a
for
lot of,
us.
I can't hear anything because it's so loud here.
Yeah. The show is so busy as well for us. Shadowcast, thank you for that sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate you. Yeah, it'd be very difficult.
Yeah, venues like that, when you're doing live streaming, they price it so that it's built for like when corporate America goes there and does like a huge presentation.
Yeah. How many subs for an Adepticon stream? Many. All of the subs. The Peyton Pass booth, awkwardish. Yeah, I'll be around. It'll be fun to see everybody.
I'm actually not mad at this.
Looks good.
For as fast as I'm going, it worked really well. I did take time with the airbrush to use the number 2, get in close, really work the armor with the highlights and the midtones and things like that, to where I was spending most of my effort there. And I say that I did like all the airbrushing in like 20 minutes.
Skinner, this is a new model from a game that is going to be, you said it's going to be hitting Kickstarter potentially?
I think, yeah. I don't have all the details.
Yeah.
It is called the Loke. If you look for the Loke game, L-O-K game, you can sign up to follow the Kickstarter. It's from Catalyst Game Labs.
Oh my goodness. Prisoner, the pricing we were quoted 3 years ago at the Bartender was $12,000 per weekend and $15,000 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It's crazy, I'm telling you.
It's bonkers.
Crazy. We've had tons of places where we've gone and, you know, they either have internet that's affordable and it won't have the upstream bandwidth to stream, right?
Yeah.
And any quality. Or if it does, now a lot of places do, because they found that that's a really good revenue source when telling people, hey, you know, you can broadcast your event live around the world. All it takes is $10,000 for your internet service.
Oh, man.
It's kind of crazy, right?
That's wild.
Because it's like, it doesn't even take that much to maintain that kind of internet.
Yeah.
It's a big profit center for places like that. So.
Yeah. T. Schmidt, you got to keep your eyes peeled for Chris. He's a sneaky one. I am.
100 million%.
I'll be at the booth this year. It'll be fun.
My friend Tommy Rice, who is the author of the Loke novel that is being turned into this game. He's also the rules guy, one of the rules guys for the game. Asked me, he was in town and asked me if I would paint a model or two for the show. And so I'm painting a model for the show.
Nice.
For them to use at the Catalyst booth.
Shadowcast. Would the transparent line be good for glowing plasma and / eyes?
Yep. 100%. That, along with transparent white and titanium white, is all you need. When you see me do glowy eyes, it's done with a titanium white backdrop in the glowy eye part. Then the little bit of black wash to give it that kind of eyeliner shading, I'll call it. And then the brighten the white in the middle again after you've done the black wash. And then the transparents. The transparents in that capacity are used in place of any type of ink you would think of using. And work like a champ. Just paint the glowy bit white first, then color, then maybe a little bit more white, then a little bit more color, and you'll get your glow effect in no time.
T. Schmid, no, I'll be mainly at the booth this year. Afterwards, I'll be running around once the floor is all closed. I'll be running around seeing who's painting stuff.
He's got to work.
So no, I'll come find people to film after the fact.
Chris was just off gallivanting by himself last year. No supervision.
No supervision.
When we confiscated his SD memory cards, we were appalled at the type of footage he had shot.
I got a lot of good stuff, chat. No, this year I was going to send out something in the Discord like I did last year. Once the show is done for the day, and when people are hanging out afterwards, that's when I'll get some testimonials again. People filming at the paint stations and all that. That's when I'll be around.
This side of the head is very hard to get to. This is a fun model.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool one.
It's neat because it gives me Space Marine vibes without being a Space Marine. You know, not that I have anything against Space Marines, but I've painted 5 bajillion of them. And sometimes you're just done with Space Marines. I just don't need any more right now, Chad. But this is fulfilling kind of like the Gravis Captain coolness. He's got big old chunky armor. Thought we were only supposed to use green paint today. I did use a lot of green paint before you showed up.
Dark yellow, green.
This is, as the hipsters call it, deconstructed green that we're using right now.
Sure, jerkface. I could probably look this up, but any presents at GaryCon coming up?
No, unfortunately, GaryCon's the same weekend
As Adepticon?
as Adepticon.
What is GaryCon?
It's like a RPG mainly, right?
Yeah. Huh.
Like
never heard of it.
D&D.
Really? The same weekend? That's not...
Yeah, it's always the same weekend.
You'd think they'd
Not do that.
that crowd would be at Adepticon.
A lot of people go to both
Oh,
since they're in the same region.
oh, I didn't know that. The more you know. It is St. Patrick's Day today.
What?
I prefer drunk painting for St. Patty's. No,
Green beer?
green beer. You go to Cane's, you get that green lemonade.
Okay, so that's just wrong. They have that out on the sign, and I'm like,
out there.
what is that?
Green
Like, that's
lemonade,
not,
chat. It's the way of the future, I guess. Get
That's-
ready for your green lemonade.
that's not something we need to talk about.
GaryCon is about an hour 20. Oh, okay. From the Adepticon venue. Interesting.
Yeah, we would have people show up at Adepticon in Chicago, having just come from GaryCon. They would do both cons, because GaryCon's in Wisconsin, I think, right? Maybe not.
GaryCon.
Gary Gygax.
GaryCon location. Yeah. Like it.
Is it actually named after Gary Gygax?
Monument Gabe says, Chris, I dropped a number 2 on your desk.
Oops.
Gross.
That's what bathrooms are for? Question mark.
Gabe, why are you coming in all hot and heavy like that?
We do offer you restroom services here, Gabe. That's part of what we have here at Monument.
Remind the folks about the mini one more time. Somebody's asking where the miniature is from.
This is a test print, to the best of my knowledge, for an upcoming game that is being done with Catalyst Game Labs, the people who bring you BattleTech in its latest form, and my buddy Tommy Rice, author of The Loke. And it is a game based on the Loke novel. And I don't have a whole lot of details for you other than that this is a Spartan paladin. Is a I don't know that I feel like it's probably one of those worlds where good guys and bad guys are fairly blurred concepts, as most war games are. But the paladins, these guys have a definite more good guy style feel to them in the way they've been presented to me.
Not gonna lie, Monument Hobbies, I low-key love this Spartan.
It's a neat model.
I see what you did there, Papa Chicken. You get one of those. Just
It's
one.
a neat model. I'm digging it. I'm using enough pale yellow to, like, kill a horse. I have, like, a mountain of pale yellow built up on my palette. This is all done since basically noon today. Not even. 12:45 today. So what time is it now?
3 o'clock.
This is like 2 hours and 15 minutes worth of work. It's all airbrush, laying the foundation for non-metallic metal with the airbrush, starting with the primer base of black brown, then a layer of dark yellow green over the top of that. And then after I did the dark yellow green, I got in with the 0.2 nozzle on the airbrush and started hitting the mid-tone areas coming out of the shadows with red orange, one of the colors coming up at Adepticon. And then after the red orange, I use the orange yellow, another new color coming up at Adepticon, as the basis for all of the yellow. And then I mix the orange yellow with pale yellow to get the highlight that you see. And so you see all those colors here, right? You see the dark green, the brown, the yellow, the orangey color, and then the pale yellow. I did all that super quick, but getting in and working very close so that I could get very defined areas for my highlight. That's the key when doing non-metallic metal, is making sure that you can get the brightest color, kind of pinpoint where you need it, so you don't have to go back and do a lot of blending of this highlight. You know, you'll notice that I'm really just doing edge highlighting and then a little bit of glazing on the spherical surfaces, like the back of the ankle I'll have to do, and the shoulder blade, and certain other areas that need to have a elliptical shine. I'll have to take some time to do some glazing there. But outside of that, I don't have to do a whole lot of work for this. It's a very low-hanging, cheap way to get a good-looking non-metallic metal very quick. It's why, kind of tongue-in-cheek, I call it wish.com non-metallic metal.
Alexander, will you guys do a stream using the transparent colors? Haven't figured out how to use them effectively. We do have a video. Alexander, if you haven't
go check out the
that
video.
Yet.
That will help you a lot. But we can definitely use a bunch on stream. We use them all the time.
We don't. We've never had like a precision one, but they're just
they
have
work
so many
their
use
they
cases.
find their way into the routine of painting here all the time. So yes, we can definitely show you more of them.
Check that video out. You'll also like that one.
We mix them, use them raw. They are by far the most flexible paint in the entire Pro-Acryl arsenal, but they also take some getting used to, because they, while just being normal acrylics for the most part, they're almost so flexible that it takes a minute to get used to what you're supposed to be doing with them. How am I supposed to think about these paints? You know, what am I supposed to expect from them? You know, you don't just pick that bottle of transparent up and paint it on your model like you do with other colors, right? That's not really the goal.
Bakamaru, 20 months. Miss watching stream every day, but work's been a nightmare. I'm sorry to hear that. But we thank you for that sub.
Baka, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope work is a nightmare in the best of ways. Keeping you busy for all the right reasons. So after I've defined the edges, I just go back in and find where I want my shine. Most of the human body can be relied on to be cylinder shapes. So I can just find these linear sections of highlight. And then where they hit an edge, just make sure I highlight even the bottom of that edge. Sometimes give them a little bit of just kind of pokey glaze side to side. That's a technical term, pokey glaze.
Gosu, welcome in. And welcome in to everybody who's just now tuning in. Where have you been? We're
Where have you
here
been?
painting. Jason's painting up this nice Spartan looking model from a new game called Loki that's coming out
The
soon. Loke, not Loki.
No.
I just repeated Papa Chicken's joke.
Horrible
Low
joke.
key, which is hilarious, Papa Chicken, by the way. Give you some more credit
Horrible
for that.
joke.
Low key, like this Loke Spartan. We painted up Sanguinius last week. And if you checked out what I did to that VOD, I don't know what you're talking about. It doesn't exist.
That was only one day.
I don't know what you're talking about. Check it out. That Bobby, thank you for that sub. Appreciate it.
How are you today, Christopher? Inquiring
I'm all right.
minds want to know.
What's that?
Inquiring minds want to know.
I'm doing all right.
Chat's afraid to ask, so I'll
Doing
ask,
all right.
Chris. How we doing?
Doing all right.
All right.
We're very busy around here. So I'm trying to keep my head on straight, chat. We did get that wing reattached.
Yep.
Deadbeat Artist, you can go and check that out on the, we did, I think that on Friday?
Look at this.
Yep. Ooh, I just bumped the mic for everybody at home. Yep, there it is, right there, Deadbeat. Check it
Almost
out.
back to where, well, probably back further than where we started from, because then I started just going back to doing the reflective work
Jason,
on him.
you also teased something on Friday.
Did I?
You did.
Did I show the new primers?
You did show the new primers.
Oh, look at that. I won't do that again.
So if you missed those, go check that out.
I would have used them on this guy, but I really needed the black brown. I thought, like, how could I use the purple but the reference art that he sent really wanted to be green, buildup of gold. And I like the brown as a base there, so I decided to stick with black brown primer this time around.
Little Billy, will it be coming in a brush variant?
No.
Just the airbrush?
Yep. Now, like many people have noticed, is that, and we've always said, you can brush prime with our airbrush primers. They are not as easy to use for new people when you do so. And the only reason I say that is because the first layer that goes down is kind of milky, translucent. So you just got to understand that that's kind of what you're going to get, right?
Alexander's asking if we're attending WonderCon this year.
No, it's the same weekend as Adepticon.
It's literally the same weekend. I did not know that either. You all went last year. Well, no, technically
last year it was the week after.
Gabe and I went to WonderCon last year.
No, Jordan and I did.
What? No, you didn't.
That was Jordan and I. You were here painting with a house brush.
You were here in person, in the flesh.
Incorrect.
Painting with a new product.
Anyway,
that will
chat,
never be sold.
Unfortunately, WonderCon is the same time as Adepticon this year.
Man, a lot of big cons happening at the same time.
Yeah, I wish.
As the biggest one.
I wish that they would get their acts together and all
have
play
a combo.
Nice, so that small businesses like Monument, because we are small in the sense of I do not have the ability to have an away team that can be at every show simultaneously.
Are we attending ReaperCon?
No, since Ed's passing, they don't invite us anymore.
There it is. And 0 cons in Florida. I don't think there's any cons in Florida that we go to.
No. Nope. Unfortunately, not. We really, right now, we focus on Adepticon, Gen Con, we have been doing LVO. Now LVO is moving to October, so we have yet to receive all of the updates from them to figure out what's going on from a vendor perspective and how they're doing that. So we don't know if that'll continue on our calendar or not. Still in Las Vegas, but moving to October. What else do we do? Those are the big ones in the States. We right now are putting all of our focus for other events into Europe. So we will be doing Scale Model Challenge this year. We will be doing the UK Games Expo.
We do Nova as
again.
well.
Oh, yeah, and Nova.
We got a big presence at Nova.
So we are largely focused on growing our presence in Europe, which is going to be great.
PAX U, ? Says Sir Jerkface.
We have discussed with them the big problem there, unfortunately, is that they are contracted with our competitors to provide all of the like paint and take and stuff like that. So
okay. Spiel? Are you going to Spiel?
Yeah, we will hopefully be at Essen.
Green, when are you going to start a con in Phoenix?
Well, as soon as somebody else takes over running the rest of the business for me.
That would be awesome.
Because
to run
a con is its own
monument
whole business, right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a simple deal. Hank, one of the owners of Adepticon, still has a day job.
Oh, that's wild to me.
And it's insane to think about, right? But he has an amazing team and treats Adepticon like the real business that it is. And just unfortunately, the reality of it is that the pace at which Monument is growing doesn't allow us to think in terms of starting another business that runs a con.
Pro-a-con.
Or
Ghost
we would
Hunter,
do
that's
it.
hilarious.
I would do it in a heartbeat. You're hearing me say that?
That would be fun.
Lying. I would do it in a heartbeat if I had the ability to do it without losing our sanity.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. A lot of hard work.
Yeah, just too much stuff to do.
Little Billy. Yeah, when is the Monument Hobbies factory sleepover happening?
What is that?
I think it's Jesse. Messing with the door.
Oh, at the door.
I had to close it. Jesse, we hear you. Mo, yes, it would be a monumental event. Be cool. It would be cool.
It's been a day of this. I've had 3 people outside of here chat ask me just today, like, hey, when are you going to do something like this and show me some other event somebody's doing?
You know what?
Like,
we'll go to them, but we're not going to do them.
I would love to. Heck, I'd love to go to more events. I would love to have the opportunity to go to more events. We just don't have the ability to send a crew out to them all the time. It's just one of the things we still have to grow into that.
That one, Bobby. Thanks for making an amazing product. Just ordered my Sam's Lens Rep and Rack, Pro Acryl Expansion Set number 4, Pro Acryl Metallic Set, Signature Series Set 2, John's you to introduce me to Pro Acryl. Nice. We love to hear that. And Signature Set number 1, Vince Ventrella. Welcome to the family.
Thank you. That's awesome.
You haven't gone
by
wrong.
The way.
I'm very glad. Yes, I'm glad you picked up those sets. If I had to pick, Vince is probably one of my favorite sets. I love all of our sets, but that one definitely up there.
Vince's is one of the best ones. It gets solid, constant use.
I use all of those colors
all the dang time. But yeah, they're all good. It's like when people ask me what my favorite color is, and I'm like, yes. There's no way I can pick. It's just not a possibility.
Lady Fate and Master Destiny are speaking to us. Start a con. No, we won't. Maybe one day. Who knows? That would be a lot of work. I was just getting tired thinking about all of it just now.
Chris has already got too much to do, and I would put him in charge of it.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be very fun.
You would be the master of ceremonies, Chris.
The master of ceremonies. Ask Shelby if she wants to plan a con. Perfect. We'll get Shelby on that, Ghost Hunter. Shelby, plan out a con for the United States of America. And it's all under monument. Have fun.
Shelby's busy, too. Let's not get carried away, Chad. These people all have jobs.
Yeah, Vince's set is very, very good. Dark yellow green, one of my favorite colors.
Use it constantly, it seems.
Payne's gray as well. And the royal purple. Can't go wrong. John set, the warm brown. Amazing for leather. The metallic set. Dark silver over making that rusty effect. All good choices there. Christopher can run the DA 100 speed painting competition. That's Jason's realm, not mine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Liar. Liar.
Hate Hater 5 dropped a follow. We'll be back. This is so calming. It is very
Thank
calming.
you. We get that a lot. And
We
it's
do.
funny because sometimes, I forget how calming it really is. Like, you'll see me get lost in the painting while Chris is over there yapping.
Bob Ross, man.
And it still works for me,
That's what
too.
it is.
So I'm glad you feel it.
It's the painting.
It's a great way to just kind of watch the paint leave the brush, create cool stuff on the model.
Very mesmerizing.
So yeah, glad you're seeing it.
Very mesmerizing.
Royal purple.
Ooh, look at that. Just go straight on there. Nice. Phil, I can run a speed painting competition, but the criteria will only be how fast they can finish the model. Painting skill not considered. That's hilarious.
It's literally you have to get 6 colors on the model faster than anybody else. Go. The clock's ticking. Why are you asking questions?
Black Wolf, it's Rob Boss.
That's what we called me. When I wore the Bob Ross
you're-
wig, we were Rob Boss.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Can we get away with that commercial for the heavy body acrylics?
Sure.
Rob Boss.
It's just too cliche now.
It's so cliche.
It's when we did it, nobody expected it. And then all of a sudden, everybody was wearing Bob Ross wigs. Not saying I'm a trendsetter or anything. In the mini painting world,
Well, like Twitch,
we
too.
definitely led the charge on that one. Yeah, Twitch syndicated that whole
They
thing.
did.
Right?
They bought the rights or something to it. I don't
think
know.
so, yeah.
It's hilarious.
Through Amazon somehow.
My mom would watch a lot of Bob Ross. That's why when she started watching our stream, she's like, "Huh, this is just like I'm just watching." That's the point.
It's like watching, like for me, sometimes I have a lot of fun watching the videos where it's like time lapse of somebody building a house,
Yeah.
and I can just get lost in that because it's so, you're seeing something be created. Whether you can imagine creating it yourself or not is highly irrelevant, I think. It's just the fact that it went from zero to something, and you get to be where you're mesmerized by it, if you're like me. I'll look at it and I'll be like, how in the world?
0 to something.
Yep.
And here we paint happy little reflection on our metals. That's right. Happy little reflection on our metals. Jason, 15 seasons of How It's Made is on HBO. Really? Mo?
I'm not talking about how it's made. How it's made doesn't do it for me. I like watching, like the last one that I watched on my YouTube, if I go back to my history, was like a 24-minute time lapse of a guy taking a Sprinter van over in Europe to a full-blown camper, from pulling it off of the yard as a used Mercedes Sprinter to fully doing the interior as a camper van.
I like some of those really long
and all I had was
ones.
music and subtitles, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just fun. And I was mesmerized by it, right? Because I'm like, that's in my wheelhouse. Because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I can do that. But I'm never going to. And so I get to live vicariously through this 24 minutes of my life watching it happen, right? There was a period of time where I had a deposit down on a brand new Mercedes Sprinter van in Colorado. And my goal was to do exactly what that guy did. So, you know, even if I never see myself doing it again, it was fun to go through and just watch it happen. You know, people that know anything about Warhammer or, you know, tabletop miniature games or painting in general could come in here and just kind of get lost in the creation. Whether you like Spartan armored dudes or not becomes highly irrelevant.
Jason, do you ever watch the OG Primitive Technology?
Never heard of it.
Sounds up like your alley. No talking, no music, just subtitles and building stuff in the woods.
Okay, yes, and
I've
I
seen
found
some of
out
those,
that a couple of them were all hoaxes.
I heard that too.
One of the ones that I watched and really liked turned out to be a hoax.
Really?
Yeah, like had a lot of help. None of it was really, you know, like the you know, whatever engineering we want to call it, the ancient engineering style.
Oh yeah.
You know, that they were time lapsing it, but they were not doing it all by hand. And they were using big power tools and excavation equipment and things like that.
Little Billy says exactly. The OG guy helped debunk all of those. Interesting.
I need to go check that out then.
Oops.
Because yes, I really do dig that, right? I love the idea of, you know, like building a little house in the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
You know, and all the stuff they do. And I watched a couple of them and then I saw one get debunked and I was really bummed. I was like, oh, rats. I want to believe. Is there any cloak on the front? No, just the fur. All right, we're doing this exactly the same way we did non-bred Gwinius. Burgundy. Up next.
I definitely am a fan of how it's made.
I like some of them. It's just that's a different concept.
Yeah.
Right? That's an explanation of a thing you may have known about and all the things it does to get it done. Yeah, I can dig it.
It's fun. It's calming. And this is how we make gum. Oh, thanks.
It is pretty fun when they take the mundane.
Yeah.
And then they give you the, you know, this is the steps, or these are the steps that we go through to make this thing that you're so familiar with on a day-to-day basis that you don't even think about, like toilet paper, right? You take it for granted, and here's how you make it. You're like, oh, wow. There are toilet paper factories. It doesn't just come from the shelf at the grocery store. I really like our burgundy over the royal purple, and just kind of with intent leaving some of that royal purple in a line in the shadow there.
Deadbeat artist. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and welcome to the stage, Burgundy. That's hilarious.
We do need like a strip club announcer way to talk about the paints. I think that would be great.
Burgundy. I do like that burgundy over that color. It's very clean.
The two of them work so well together to give you like a really royal red.
Mm-hmm.
We went into red oxide next, and then bold pyrrole, and so that's my intent here. You could go to bold pyrrole by mixing it in with the burgundy and get a really nice, more bluish red. But the red oxide makes a jump into, a more yellow, true red. And I like that with the blue background that the burgundy and the royal purple set. So it's kind of a favorite of mine.
Biznar, is the Matte Seshwish set still being produced? My local store in Canada started carrying Pro Acrylic paints, and they said they couldn't get it from the distributor. I'm missing 3 of the set. We are still making it.
It's still made, but the distributor may not have it,
right,
and may have to reorder it. And they do. Our Canadian distributor has an order in right now, so. It's just a matter of them getting it back in. It'll happen. All of the signature sets to date are still being made. Once I don't have a whole lot of paint left on my brush, I'll take the burgundy and just kind of lightly feather it down into the shadows. And the feathering here is really nothing more than just standard brush strokes, but because I don't have much color left on the brush, it acts as a glaze, but you're not having to work at it, right? So you see the shadows have more of the purple to them. So there's a trick when painting to pay attention to how much paint you still are getting off of your brush. And when you're using a damp brush to paint with, the flow of paint should continue to be easy, meaning that it still comes off the brush nicely. But when you start running out of paint, the wetness has less color to it. And you can use that to your advantage because now you have an instant glaze that is very simple, that you don't have to mix, and you just keep painting like you normally would. You just start putting less color down because there's less color on the brush. So use that to your advantage. Allow that to help you blend, because it's something most people don't think about. As soon as your brush stops putting out the color that you're expecting for an opaque finish, you go rinse it and add more color. Use that fact that it's putting out less color to give you more blends along the edges where you need less color, and it just takes the thought process away from it. It's kind of like an aha moment for a lot of people when I tell them that. They're like, oh, well, duh. Kind of like purple on the inside of the thing, but I'm going to go ahead and put some burgundy here. We may leave it as just the burgundy and royal purple on the inside of the cloak.
Game delay. I'll use the gradual decline in the color from my brush to start painting sections of the minis in the shadows.
You got it. Exactly what I just did, right? As the color starts to wane, I start going in and bringing color out of the shadow, because now that you can't even get it on screen, right? But that dark area underneath that fold will be a nice, barely blend that I don't even have to try really hard at. Because it's just done because there's hardly any burgundy left on the brush. So what I put out is so little bit of color. I mean, it's the same reason, like over here, you can see more or less of the yellow. As you run out of paint on the brush, you see more and more of the yellow here until eventually I run out of all my paint on the brush and now I don't get any color at all. Same exact thing, right? When I started unloading the brush, I had more burgundy. As I kept going and going, less and less and less, and that blends. So use that to your advantage. That's a trick that, like I said, a lot of people just don't get it. They don't think about it. That, oh yeah, if there's not as much paint on the brush, then it's going to become less opaque. And by it being less opaque means I get glazing instantaneously. Now, as I go to paint this underside of the cloak, I'm going to need to add more dilution of water to the paint because I don't have an area under here where I want it to be the full burgundy. I want all of this to be the feel of there not being much paint on the brush.
Model is from a new game on Kickstarter called Loke.
It's not on it yet, but it's coming.
I think somebody said it was.
I looked today before stream so I could answer this question, and it said sign up for updates.
Never mind.
Coming soon.
Oh, okay. On Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it
just
comes
posted in
out. It
Discord.
may come out. I don't know if they launch it at Adepticon. I hope not. It doesn't seem like the right thing to do, but maybe.
So they're just teasing it?
Maybe so, yeah.
Iterator, yes, that is the link I posted in Discord. Oh, okay. Panic Bomb. It looks like the Kickstarter is called Partha Wars.
Yeah. The Loke Partha Wars. Tales from the Partha Wars or something. This is just a test sculpt. Please be aware, I have to say it, I guess, that this may not be the way the model looks when it hits the real world. I do not know. I have nothing to do with it. As they get further along, we might get Tommy to come on stream with us.
We have the technology. What are you doing? Get out. What are you doing? Bring that back. Help! Thief!
Chris?
Help! Thief!
Chris?
Bring that back! I need those!
Chris?
Don't take the good ones!
He's already gone.
Chat, Gabe just came and stole from me.
You just literally yelled and screamed and
I
threw
did.
a tantrum for no reason.
I did. You know what? Little Billy, an enemy of Chris, is a friend of mine. Okay. Little Billy. Coming in strong. Yes, Little Billy. Gabe is not the enemy. He's something.
It depends, right? He's like the enemy of Chris.
Is he? I don't think so.
Aren't you guys like arch nemesis?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Doesn't feel like it?
I think it's more of a yin and yang situation.
I would go for that. That makes some sense.
You have to have both. Balance in the force. You know, that kind of stuff.
Light side, dark side?
Little Billy's my main enemy right now.
Light side, dark side?
Yeah.
Little Billy's your
There's a
main.
difference there. Mo's asking, is it an STL thing or finished model thing or both, like TC?
This is a printed model. I think
don't know.
my belief is that they are actually going to production with miniatures, a la BattleTech. But do not quote me on that. This is not something I know. I'm gonna go with yes, maybe.
Yes, maybe.
Yes, maybe.
I like that. That's my mantra.
Perhaps yes, maybe. Feels like the right thing to say.
Wolf Lancer, is there going to be an announcement of the new paints available at Adepticon before the con hits?
Yes.
I heard there's 24 new colors being released.
18.
Is that the true? It's 18.
18. New colors. And yes, there will be an announcement. You will start to see all of that coming out as possibly as soon as the end of the day today, but most likely tomorrow. There's still some details being worked out behind the scenes on some stuffs. To be as completely obscure and not forthcoming as humanly possible.
It is not forthcoming as humanly possible.
But yeah, you'll start to see more and more leaking out very quickly.
When will the new racks be available to handle future expansions?
New retail racks?
That's what Iterator, is that what you're asking? Looks like it. When will new racks be available to handle future expansions?
Well, that's a great question. As a matter of fact, I asked for the sampling information for our new retail rack design this morning. So I am nearly to the, I say to the approval state. I have to get a physical sample of the new rack in from the warehouse or from the manufacturer. And then as soon as we get that in and can test it, make sure it holds up to the weight and stresses and all that stuff, then we'll get going. But yeah, it's imminent is the right way to say that, I believe.
Imminent. Iterator says yes. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. And if it doesn't, I don't know how to help you, Iterator.
It will hold up to 192 of the regular.
Whoa.
Of the regular 25 mil bottles.
For a second, I thought you were about to say 1 million. It's going to hold up to 1 million paints.
It's a big ass rack.
We're taking a new. Oh, I'll give you that one. I was just about to say, we've started a new venture with our hobby racks. They're going to hold 1 million paints. We essentially buy every FLGS that we send them to. It is just a massive Pro Acryl warehouse rack.
Yes.
That's what we've decided to do.
There you go.
1 million paints in 1 million stores. That's our goal. You see that trend with some famous YouTube education accounts, right? Like, I'm going to teach 1 million people this thing, right? We're going to have 1 million paints in 1 million stores with 1 million racks. There you go.
It's funny. Somebody asked me the other day if I thought we had 1 million people view what we do. And I was like, it's not something that's ever crossed my mind. But for 9 years we've been doing this. And if you look at the numbers, right, the thing the numbers can't tell you on Twitch is how many of the people that have watched us over the years have been just, repeat customers. Because obviously we have tons of people who come here every day. And so it's very interesting to think, like, how many people have we reached over the years with this craziness that we do.
Monument Philip, is that a single paint in each store? No, it's just 1 million paints in 1 million stores. So do that math, chat.
So that's a lot of paint, Christopher.
A lot of paint. Get to it, Grant. If you're still in here, let's go. Chop, chop. 1 million paints, 1 million stores. Panic Bomb, speaking of a lot, 205 streams in a row. Whoa.
That's nuts. Panic Bomb, my hero.
Paint Grant, I got this. Perfect. See, that's the kind of attitude we need, Grant. No problem. As you wish. You got it. So, 18 new colors at Adepticon. Ugh, I'm behind again. PCG, that's how we keep you into it.
Yeah.
Keep you on your toes. Be bringing it to you.
Keep you on your toes. Yeah, the new rack will hold up to 192 normal colors, 20 heavy-bodied acrylics, 12 primers, 8 primers. I think it's 8 primers and then 4 or 6 mediums, so 14. I don't remember. A lot of damn stuff.
Iterator, this hobby is all about FOMO, must buy. We're not about FOMO. And just so that you know, these are not Adepticon exclusive things. They'll be available to order when we're determining that. So don't think that they won't be available if you don't get to the show.
Our goal is to have a street date somewhere around like the 2-week period after Adepticon. We'll keep updating everybody and let you know, but that's our goal. It could lag just a little.
Spaznet, do you have an ongoing count on how many bottles of paint you've bottled for the lifetime of the company?
Yes, actually, we can know that number a lot easier than the number of people we've reached on the stream. It is in the I would have to go do the math on the early years because using our current production rates doesn't scale because when we started we didn't bottle near as much. But this is year 9 of the paint line. Is that right? No. Year 7 of the paint line. So we started Procryl in 2018. It hit the shelves on Black Friday of 2018. And so after 6 full years, we've done over 10 million bottles of Procryl.
A lot of paint. All right, so we're getting close to my number.
That's not close, but yes.
I think it's really close, Jason. Rattlecan. Oh, Wizard's Butt equals FOMO. No, Wizard's Butt's just magic. You can't have FOMO when it's just pure magic. Who knows? Wizard's Butt's its own separate thing. Wolflancer, great question. What is this Wizard's Butt thing? I'm missing context.
So in our first commercial, our first long form commercial that had me wandering through our office, and we got to a point where we said we like to keep everything simple, like the way we name our paints. And my nephew was in a dunk tank, and my nephew looked at the camera and said, yeah, what the heck kind of color is Wizard's Butt anyway? Making fun of all of our competitors who name things like Hex Cloak. Like, what the hell is that? Nobody knows.
Hex
right?
Cloak.
And so we made fun of that, and then I dunked him in the water or whatever, and we went on about it. And we came out with a color called Wizard's Butt, and Wizard's Butt was, the first one was a yellow, right? We just call it wizard's butt. It's just a hand-mixed amalgam of colors from our main line that are like the remnants. And production will get a whim and say, oh, these look good together, and they'll mix them up, and then we'll get, I don't know, 100 bottles of a remnant, right? And so you get like 100 or 200 bottles. And then we'd stick them in orders or give them away as handouts and fun stuff on stream and things like that. But we went ahead and made a functional label. The SKU is MPA Butt. They all have the same barcode. They all have the same label, but it comes right now. It comes in a variety of, I think, 5 flavors. So there's more wizard's butts. There's
flavors. What are you talking about, Jason?
There's
these aren't flavors. These are paint colors. Don't eat the paint.
All of these, right?
I don't even have these, chat. So it's not FOMO.
So
this is magic.
So these are all the exact same paint. There you go. That's how wizard's butt works.
Yeah, so don't worry about that FOMO, because that FOMO doesn't exist, because they just don't exist. If you got one, cool.
If you get wizard's butt, you have the only wizard's butt.
And I guess you could
What
call
color is wizard's butt?
I wouldn't call that FOMO. I would just call that miracle working.
The most sought after Pro Grill bottles that most people don't even know about. Correct. Yeah, most people don't even know it exists. We get lots of questions through customer service because people will get the sticker in their order that says wizard's butt and nobody knows what it means. We love to know that we have had a profound effect on our industry, because now our competitors name their paints Hex Cloak, and then on the side call it dark gray, right? Because they've had so much backlash because of us creating such a stink about nobody cares what, flapping gums. Nobody cares about that. Call it pink. I suddenly feel like I should look out the window and contemplate life. Wizard's butt is the paint when you're running in between color. Yes. Yeah, you know what? I never thought about that. I wonder if we could just never... We would have to look at production numbers and have Grant look at it. Like if we could just never clean the machines again and just... the next color, the first X amount of bottles that come out are wizard's butt.
That's it.
And then when it starts getting into the regular color, then you just start putting different labels on it. There you go. That's not how it works, and that's not what we're going to do. That kind of throws quality assurance out the window, but it sounds fun.
Here's your quality assurance. It's just a big shrugged shoulder.
Exactly, deadbeat. A wizard's butt is precisely the color it intends to be.
I guess so. So I wouldn't call it FOMO. I would just call it reality.
Alexander Amato says, speaking of FOMO, when will your new expansion sets be named and listed on Paint Rack to compare them? We generally do that already. We have not been able to, for reasons I cannot disclose. It will become apparent soon. But as soon as you start seeing the sneak peeks of the colors and the advertising announcing the Adepticon release date, then we will reach out to Octopus guys and have them put it on Paint Rack.
Wizard's Butt t-shirt someday.
Oh, you have no idea. We have Alex, one of our new marketing team members. She is working on a Wizard's Butt character idea that I've come up with, and it's looking great. So excited for that to come out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Bilious green. At least it said green.
Bilious green? What is that color?
At least it said green. Right?
Bilious?
Although GW is notorious for naming things and not using the right names of the actual color. Like they'll come up with insert adjective gray, and it isn't gray at all.
Oh,
right?
That's old. That's definitely an old color.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the old,
like that.
It was in the world of like noxious, Nurgly.
Give me my wizard's butt. We won't, little Billy. It's not FOMO. It's just magic.
Bile green, bilious.
Absolutely, Wolf Lancer. Anytime. Keep an eye out. Who knows? Is there going to be a wizard's butt at Adepticon?
I don't know if they got one made or not.
I thought they did. Did they?
I do not know. I would be lying if I said yes. So I'm not going to say yes. because I might lie to you,
That's what the badge is for.
which I don't want to do.
Who knows? I see, chat. I don't even know. So
None of us know.
There's no FOMO. It's just nobody knows.
In order to create FOMO, we'd have to be organized.
In order to create FOMO, Wizard's Butt would have to be a real thing. And I would say it's technically not a real thing. You want to get really granular with it. It is a real thing with its messaging, but the thing itself is not real. So therefore, no FOMO. And that's my TED Talk.
Yeah, you can't call Wizards Butt FOMO because we've never sold it. We just hand it out randomly. And like
we just get the people
at
hooked
LVO,
on it.
we asked people to post to their social media channels a picture of themselves talking about how much fun they were having at LVO at the Monument booth. And then they got to walk away with Wizards Butt. That worked well. Had a lot of fun with that. Some good posts out there because of it. But to date, we haven't ever sold it. We've talked about doing a promotional set of Wizard's Butt that we would sell for a limited time only. We don't do FOMO. We don't believe in it, but we do believe in having fun. And I think that if the FOMO comes as a secondhand product of the fun, then I'm okay with that.
Arlo, it's not FOMO, it's MO. False. It's here for the fun. We just want to avoid those customer service tickets. My Wizard's Butt didn't come out correct.
Can you imagine? I heard Wizard's Butt. I got 4 of the same color. Like, hey man, that's just kind of how the cookie crumbles.
If you got 4 of the same color, I feel like that would be a good thing for you. I wouldn't complain about that at all.
If it was 4 Wizard's Butts, that'd actually be really good.
Color.
I don't have 4 of any of the Wizard's Butts, and the yellow is so good that I'm really afraid of the day that I no longer have it.
Right, so
we might just have to make that color. Some of them, we reserve the right to have them make it to the regular line.
We reserve the right. I like how that we have to say that to ourselves. We reserve the right to do this.
I can do whatever I want.
You can do whatever you want. Hey, we do reserve the right to make a Wizard's Butt a real thing. Wolf Lancer, I just watched the Wizard's Butt commercial. I lost it. Nice. Yeah, that's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start doing mystery boxes from Pro Acryl. And they're just going to be Wizard's Butt.
Just Wizard's Butt. That's all. Nothing else.
It's like, it's going to be like opened in packs of cards now.
Incorrect color. I grabbed an incorrect color. I wanted this one. Dark flesh, people. Dark flesh.
Vector, yes, the yellow one looks so great. Oh.
The what does?
The Vector saying that the yellow one looks great. The Wizard's Butt, probably.
Oh, it's such a good color. The Ruben over in production made that. He's the guy that comes up with all of the Wizard's Butt colors. I have nothing to do with it.
We need a Wizard's Butt brush, or is that what the DA100 is for? I don't know what you're talking about, Spaznet or Source. Spaznet, we're not making a Wizard's Butt Monuments version of a collectible card game. That's true.
How much time I got, Chris?
8 minutes.
What?
You have 8 minutes left. What are you doing now?
I'm painting some dark flesh.
Oh, nice.
You'd know if you'd have been paying attention.
I just
instead of yammering on with chat.
I was yammering on with chat.
You let them distract you, Christopher.
I was reading. I was making sure I was reading. Release random wizard's butt with a card sticker saying limited edition, but all those boxes have limited edition on them. Oh, I see what you did there, little Billy. That's marketing. Oh, deadbeat artist. That's hilarious. If you put wizard's butt through an airbrush, does it make a fart sound?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
We should say that. If we ever release it, we'd be like, we do not guarantee it does not fart when put through the airbrush.
Law Dog. The real question I have is, when are you coming out with advanced mahogany? The one that is exactly like regular mahogany, but it comes in liters.
We've had people ask for it in growlers before. We
Mahogany?
used to in the stream, we had an image that I made in Photoshop of a growler of mahogany that was up on the shelf behind me in the image when we first started the whole Pro Acryl bar kind of a thing. And that was a big hit. But it made everybody ask that question, when are we going to get that where we can buy it in mass quantities? And I'm like, well, that's not a thing. So no.
Poop Tempest. Great question. Quick question about transparent white. If I'm painting white armor starting with gray and building up to BTW, would you recommend using transparent white to blend the layers?
Yeah. It works great. I typically do that. If you look at the White Blood Angels helmet video on our YouTube channel, I believe that's what I do there.
Or I can link it.
You'll have a functional example of it going down, right? Because at that last step of gray, one of the things you need is to not have to make the jump to white. And the transparent white will help blend all of that, like the bright neutral gray, if you're using the neutral gray. I typically, if I'm doing grays to white, I always want to end at bright neutral gray, no matter what.
Pro Acryl How to Veteran White Helmet. I think I found it.
Yeah. That's it.
Here is the link for you.
Terracotta.
Danger. Been painting along with y'all today. Transparent brown is amazing. It helped me fix some rough contrast paint.
Such a good color.
Nice. I like it when people are painting along with us.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What are you working on?
Yeah, Danger, let us know. Right. I definitely will throw on YouTube. I check in on all the content creators out there, see what everyone's doing when I'm painting. I'll tune into past VODs as well.
That's one thing I can't do. I can listen to audiobooks. I find that when I'm watching people's streams, I want to do it with full attention. I don't know if it's I don't know, like, because I don't go and like watch past VODs much, but I'll go and tune into people's streams.
Oh.
And I can't have that kind of conversation going on. I can listen to books, but I can't have that kind of conversation going on while I'm painting. It's kind of almost too in depth. I don't know.
I'll watch more videos than watch actual streams.
Oh, on YouTube. Yeah.
But I can see what you're talking about. Dangerous. Yellow and brown sisters of battle. Nice. Warm yellow is my main color.
Cool. Nice. We've got a project we're doing with Nova today, and I had to send some pictures to our character artist of Sisters of Battle today.
Oh.
kind of lead her in a particular direction for art style that I'm looking for.
Well, Jason, it's about that time. It's 3:58.
You're very mean to me, Christopher.
I don't think so. I'm a good person. I stand by that.
You're one of those people that thinks that making me adhere to the rules is a good thing?
No. Break the rules, not the law.
So is our stream end a law or a rule?
You tell us, chat.
Got a lot done. Got a heck of a lot done. I also have to do a complete model of my classroom model for Adepticon. I have to paint a complete classroom model.
What?
Yeah.
Jason, we gotta. I've totally just remembered that.
Yeah, I like the fact that when I go and teach classes, I can have the finished product there so people can look, because then I don't have to walk the whole model through. I can show the process and the end game and not have to spend all of the people's time, because it's like an hour and a half class.
Oh, that's
and you can't get through an hour and a half and have people get feedback direct from me if they have to watch me paint the whole time. So
okay. I mean, that makes sense.
So I won't be doing that on stream though. I'll probably do that this weekend.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
Crimson Dynamo. If you're coming to Adepticon and you're in my class, we'll be painting Crimson Dynamo. You'll be getting your own Crimson Dynamo model, and we will be supplying you paints to sit around and paint with me. It'll be fun. So everyone, once again, thank you so much. You missed the opening cutscene. We might bring something like that back. A little movie.
Oh.
With the cool music.
For a second, I thought you were talking about something from
the comic book intro kind of thing.
Hmm.
It's a lot of fun. We might bring something like that back. Giga Spartan Paladins in the Discord that are afraid of missing out on Wizards. But yes, 5,484 amazing Irish Giga Spartan Paladins. They're Irish because it's St. Patrick's Day, I guess. But thanks so much for hanging out with us, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and that Monday is kicking off right. Hopefully you had something to do with your Monday being a little bit brighter. And make sure to check out all the links that Chris put in chat there. Check out the monumenthobbies.com link, as well as the FLGS store finder link, so you can find a place close to you that sells our stuff. Pick up some hobby goods next time you're looking to paint some gray models. Give us a shot. I think you'll love our products. Seen them live on stream this entire time. We look forward to seeing you back here. Remember, we stream Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. I won't be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a Jordan day, I believe. Chris is nodding and not saying anything.
Okay.
So tomorrow will be a Jordan day. And
or
then
will it be?
Huh?
Or will it be?
Yes, it will. Or maybe Chris is going to paint. Chris is supposed to paint Smaug. Chat, might be. But tune in, and then I'll be back on Wednesday again. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out. Stick around. Chris is going to find somebody to raid, so show some love in the stream we wind up in. Do that follow and subscribe thing. Gives everybody a little bit of a lift. And we will see you back here tomorrow. Adios, gang.